Guys, please confirm to me. All of you are getting my voice on screen. Those are attending in online. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you are getting my voice on screen. Those are attending in online. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you are getting my voice on screen. Please check it, guys. All of you are getting my voice on screen. Right. Good evening, guys. And check it what we completed in the last session. What content here we understand there. Right. I think so. We are discussing about Java features topic here. We are discussing there. In Java features topic, almost all the features we completed. The next topic today is what there Java naming conventions. Observe carefully, all of you know Java naming conventions. All right, sir. What exactly the Java naming conventions? What is the need of it? All of you observe carefully. Listen carefully. Java is a case-sensitive programming language. Am I right? Java is what there? A case-sensitive programming language. What is the meaning of this case-sensitive programming language? No. Java is a case-sensitive programming language. That's okay, fine. But what is the meaning of it? No. Observe carefully. Wherein Java applications, there is a separate recognition for lowercase letters and uppercase letters. Observe carefully. There is a separate recognition for lowercase letters. Then what next one here? Uppercase letters. That means what I'm telling there, small ABC is not equals to capital ABC. In the case of Java, small ABC is not equals to capital ABC. There is a separate recognition for lowercase letters and uppercase letters. Both are not the same. Sir, got my point or not? Both are not the same. Listen carefully. But here the question is what there, where to use lowercase letters and where to use uppercase letters, that we have to understand. There, to use lowercase letters separately and uppercase letters separately, Java has given a set of conventions. To use lowercase letters separately and to use uppercase letters separately, Java has provided a set of conventions. Now understand this clearly. To use lowercase letters, and uppercase letters separately, Java has provided the following conventions. What exactly the conventions are provided by Java? Java has provided separate conventions. What are the various conventions are provided by Java? All of you observe carefully. All Java classes names, abstract classes names, interfaces names, and enum names must be started with an uppercase letter. All of you observe carefully. What is the point I'm telling here? All Java classes names, abstract classes names, interfaces names, and enum names must be started with what there? An uppercase letter. and the subsequent symbols must also be an uppercase letters, and the subsequent symbols must also be uppercase letters. Must also be uppercase letters. Example I'm telling to you. What is the meaning of it? For example, if you have any class name or an abstract class name or interface name or enum name or having multiple words, then every word must be started with an uppercase letter. Simple point. If you have multiple words in a single name, every word must be started with what there? An uppercase letter. Example I'm telling to you, observe carefully. String is a single word where S must be uppercase letter, capital. Next one is after that. String buffer. Two words are available. What are the two words? String and buffer. Two things are available where S must be capital and B must be capital. Next one is after that. Input stream reader. How many words are available? Three words are available. Every word must be started with what there? An uppercase letter. Every word must be started with what there? An uppercase letter. Right, sir. Understand it, no? I, S, and R. I, S, and R. All are what there? Uppercase letters. Understand it clearly. Just give a minute of time. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you are getting my voice and screen clearly. Those who are attending in online, please confirm to me, guys. Am I audible? Is my voice is clear to all of you? Everybody, please respond for me. Am I audible? Is my voice is clear to everybody? Fatima and Vima Reddy. Right. Nice. All right, sir. Now observe carefully. This is rule number one, convention number one, what we are having there. Now let's come for the another point, second point here. Next one is all Java variables names. All Java variables names must be started with a lowercase letter and the subsequent symbols must be uppercase letters. Guys, observe carefully what I'm telling to you. All Java variable names must be started with lowercase letters and the subsequent symbols must be what there? Uppercase letters. That means first word, first symbol should be lowercase letter. Second word, first symbol. Third word, first symbol. Fourth word, first symbol, and so on must be uppercase letters. Every word except first word, first symbol should be what there? Uppercase letter. Say for example, in is a variable, I should be small. Out is a variable, O should be small. ERR variable, E should be small. Next one is page context. How many words are available here? Two words are available. Page and context. In page, P must be what there? Lowercase letter. In context, C must be like what there? Uppercase letter. What we are getting now. Observe carefully. Next one is body content. Body content. B must be what there? Small. And in content, C must be what there? Uppercase letters. For example, if you want to write some user defined variable, EMP temp ADDR, employee temporary address. If we take like this, EMP E should be small. In a temp, T must be what there? Uppercase letter. In ADDR, A should be what there? Uppercase letter. First word, first symbol should be what there? Small. Remaining words, every symbol, every starting symbol must be what there? Uppercase letter. Please recognize this. Right, sir. Next one is point number 3. Whatever the rule we have seen for variables, same rule is available for methods. In Java, methods are having the same rule of the variables. Whatever the rule we are having for variables, no, same rule is available for what their methods. Observe carefully here. Again, the same point I'm telling there. All Java method names must be started with a lowercase letter, but the subsequent symbols must be uppercase letters. But the subsequent symbols must be what there? Uppercase letters. All of you observe carefully now. Again, the similar example here I'm telling there. Now understand this clearly. Concat is a method. Tell me guys, how many words are available in concat? No, only one word. Concat, only one word. That C must be what there? Small. For name method is available. How many methods? How many names are available? How many words are available? 2 words are available. For name. In for, F should be what there? Small. And in name, N should be what there? Uppercase letter. Next one is get input stream. What next one here? Get input stream. In get input stream, G should be what there? Small. And I is what there? Uppercase letter. And S is what there? Uppercase letter. Get input stream. In this way here we have to understand. Alright, so like this, we can write any number of words there, but first word, first symbol should be what there? Lowercase. Second word onwards, every starting symbol must be what there? Uppercase letter. Please recognize this. Right, so now this is another point here we have to understand. Next one is after completion of this, observe carefully the fourth point now. Listen, all Java constant variables must be provided in uppercase letter. Don't worry now immediately what is the meaning of constant variable, but in the future we are going to understand it now. One type of variable, constant variables are available. They must be provided in the form of like what there? Uppercase letters only. Example, here we can understand min priority. Right, sir. Next one is what there? Max priority. Then after that, nam priority. Next one is min value. Next one is what there? Max value. Like this, we are able to have so many variables. All the constant variables must be provided in the form of like what there? Uppercase letters. In the case of what? Java. In Java, all constant variables must be provided in uppercase letters. Observe carefully. Next one is after that, after completion of this, another thing. The fifth point, all of you observe carefully. All Java package names. Package is nothing but a collection of classes and interfaces now. All Java package names must be provided in lowercase letters. All Java package names must be provided in what letters there? Lowercase letters. Examples here we have to identify. All Java package names must be provided in what there? Lowercase letters. What are the various lowercase letters here we are getting there? Now try to understand it clearly. Say for example, java.io package name here I am providing java.io. Next one is java.awt.event. Java.awt.event. Next one is what there? Java dot or maybe Java X dot servlet dot like what there? Java X dot servlet dot JSP dot tag ext. Something else here we provided. Now observe carefully here what we are getting there. Any number of package names here we can provide in a single package name, but everything must be provided in what there? Lowercase letters. Sir, all of you get my point or not? So these are the naming conventions here what we are having in the case of Java. Let's see this, all the points here what we are getting now. All of you observe carefully. All Java classes names, abstract classes names, interfaces names, and enum names must be started with an uppercase letter, and the subsequent symbols must also be uppercase letters. String S is a capital, in a string buffer S and B are capital, in input stream reader IE, S and R are what their uppercase letters. All Java variable names must be started with lowercase letters, and the subsequent symbols must be what their uppercase letters. In, out, ERR all are in lowercase letter. Page context P is small and C is a capital. Body content B is small and C is what there? Uppercase letter. EMP temp ADTR E is small, T is uppercase letter, and A is what there? Uppercase letter. All Java method names must be started with a lowercase letter, but the subsequent symbols must be what there? Uppercase letter. Concat, for name, get input to stream. In concat, C is what there? Small. In a for name, F is a small and N is a capital. In get input stream, G is a small, I is a capital and S is a capital. All Java constant variables must be provided in uppercase letters. What are these actually? Min priority, max priority, norm priority. Min value, max value. Like this, we are able to provide. All Java package names must be provided in lowercase letters. What are these package names actually? Java.io, java.awt.event. Then what next one here? Java x.servlet.jsp.tag.ext. All these are like what there? Package names here, what we are having. So all of you are getting it or not? Right, so next one. After that, another point here I'm telling there. Just wait. Just 1 minute. You'll get clarity. 1 minute. Next point is required. Now understand this point clearly. All the above conventions are mandatory while writing predefined library. Predefined library in the sense what they, while writing predefined classes names, predefined interfaces names, predefined variables names, predefined methods names, predefined constants names, and predefined package names. These naming conventions are mandatory. As you said, if we change in place of uppercase letter, lowercase letter, uppercase letter, if we interchange them, error will come. In the case of what there, predefined library. Statement is not completed. Understand it now. These are optional. These are optional while writing user-defined library. Recognize my point here. These are optional while writing user-defined library. Say for example, I want to write in my class. My class name is what there? Employee. Now here, employee is a class name. E should be uppercase or not, as per the Java rule. But I want to write small e. That employee is my own, user defined. We can write it, no problem. It's valid. Syntactically, it is valid. Compiler will not raise any error. But inside this class, for example, I want to write like what their exception I want to write. Now exception is what their predefined class. Now wherever we are changing the small e there we are able to get a compilation error. While writing predefined library, the rules are mandatory. You must follow the rules, whatever the rules are given while writing predefined library. But while writing user-defined library, whenever we are writing our own classes, our own variables, our own methods, our own package names, then we can change these naming conventions. Compiler will not give any error. Got my point or not? But condition, what I'm telling there, these are optional while writing user-defined library, but suggestible. But these are what they're suggestible. Observe carefully. Suggestible for user-defined library. Suggestible for user-defined library also. Get my point or not? So suggestible. Why? Because Java has given a culture. Why we are not going to follow that culture? No. Of course, Java has given information to us like what there. So it is mandatory for predefined libraries. It's okay. But for user-defined library, these are optional. We may violate it. But even though we may violate it, even though they are optional, but it's suggestible to follow the same conventions for what there? For user-defined library also. Not required to violate it. Got it or not? This is good programming practice. But Java has given that culture, if you follow, no, that will be what their good programming practice. That is what exactly the point I'm giving there. Yes, sir. All of you are getting clarity or not? This is clearly what there, where to use uppercase letter, where to use lowercase letter in our Java applications. Understand my intention here. I'm moving towards programming slowly. I'm moving towards what they're programming now. Where to use lowercase letters and where to use uppercase letters. These are the points that I'm telling them. One simple example I'm telling to you. Most of the people are getting majority of the compilation errors because of not following these conventions. Simple point I'm telling there. Because of not following these naming conventions only, most of the people are getting like compilation errors in maximum cases. If people are following these conventions there, then people are not going to get any errors. People are not going to get any problems here, no, if they're following these conventions. No. Got my point or not? So then try to follow these conventions, try to remember these conventions clearly. Leave it here. Then after that, another topic, Java programming format. All right, sir. What is the next topic there? No, Java programming format. Java programming format. All right, sir. How can we identify whether it is a Java variable name or method name in the sense? Nothing. It's not much difficult. Easily we can identify this. Variable syntax is different, method syntax is different. On the base of the syntaxes of these variables and methods, easily we can identify what is variable name and what is method name. Got my point or not? All right, so now say for example, in the variable syntax is what there, int I is equal to 10. Now here what is that variable? I. Then what is that method name actually? Void m1 method. Now this is what their method syntax. So here m1 is what their method name. So in that way, easily we can identify. There is no separate study for it. Easily we can recognize. Automatically we can understand what is variable and what is method on the basis of their declarations now. Now to think about it, guys. Now let's understand this clearly. To prepare a fundamental or a basic Java program, we have to use the following structure. What exactly the structure here we have to use there? Now all of you guys observe carefully. I want to give a simple structure for us. Now try to understand it. So this structure contains nearly 5 phases. What are the 5 phases here we are able to have there? All of you observe carefully. First one is comment section. First one is what there? Comment section. Second one is what there? Package section. Then after that, what next one you know? Import section. Second one is what there? Import section. Then after that, classes, interfaces section. Then after that, main class section. As observe carefully, nearly 5 phases are available in a Java programming format. All right, sir. First one is comment section. Next one is like what their package section. Next one is import section. Then classes or interfaces section. Then after that, what their main class section. All right, sir. Out of all these sections now tell me, you only tell me which sections are optional and which sections are mandatory. If you have to this, comment section is optional. Comment section is what they're optional. Package section is also be optional. Import section is also be optional. Classes or interfaces section is also be like what they're optional. But main class section is mandatory. Main class section is what they're mandatory. That means with a single main class, main method, we can prepare program. Example I'm telling you, observe carefully. This is my program. Inside this, I can write system.out.println of welcome to Java programming. We can write this in a section here. Now observe carefully. How many things I have written here? Directly main class. This is main method. One statement, one small instruction. That's it. That's my program. I have not written comment section. I have not written package section. I have not written import section. I have not written any separate classes or interfaces, nothing else. All these things are removed. Only one class. Inside this class, main method. Main class and main method. The remaining part here we provide it. All right, so now here I can compile and I can execute this program here. Of course, this I prepared for some other batch there. No need to think about it. Java C space test, Java space test. Here we are getting what output there. Welcome to Java programming. That output here we are getting. Right, leave this one. So example I'm telling that I'm not having any intention to talk about directly the first program there. To execute this first program, we have a lot of concepts there that we have to understand there. Okay, but first of all here, what is the point I'm telling to you? If you want to prepare any minimal Java program. If you want to prepare the basic Java program, what sections here we have to maintain there? These many sections here we have to provide. Comment section, package section, import section, classes or interfaces section. Then what next one here? Main class section that we have to provide. Let's say this one. All these sections here we provided there clearly. All right, sir. That's okay, fine now. Here now we have to start with what there? Comment section. Here we have to start with what there? Comment section. What exactly this comment section? What is the need of this comment section here? Everybody understand it now. Your attention is required to understand all the points now. Now try to understand it now. Right, sir. In general, when we start a project, whenever we are providing some code in our project, whenever we are starting coding part in our project implementation, there is a convention for us. There is a rule, not even convention, there is a rule. Before writing your code, it is a convention to provide, or it is a suggestion to provide some details about our code, what we are going to implement, what we are going to write. Some details we have to specify. Some description we have to provide about our code. The description may include what? Who is providing this code? That is developer name. Understand my point here? Developer name. In which project is providing this code? In which module is providing this code? What is our team actually? What is the name of the team? For which client we are implementing this code? All these basic details, that fundamental information we have to provide about our code before start to write our code in our application development. In our application development, before writing our code, we have to provide this description. To provide this description in a Java file, to provide this type of description in a Java file, we have to use comment section. That is what there? Comment section, where we have to use comments. In that comment section, we have to use what there? Comments. Yes, guys, all of you are getting my point or not? Now, let's understand the point here. What is the point I'm telling there? In general, in a real-time application development, it's a convention to provide some description. It's convention to provide some description before writing a code in a Java file, where the description, or I can say like what their metadata, both are same. Description or metadata, data about the data about the program is called as what their metadata. Even that one also we can say, no problem here. Right, sir, where the description includes or including, where the description including other name, that is developer name, comma, objective of implementation, for what purpose we are writing this code. Then what next one here? Team information. After this team information, next one is what there? Some modules details, at which module we are implementing this one. Next one is a project information, project details, and so on and so on and so on. All possible information here we can write clearly. All right, sir, all possible information here we are able to write. We can write that all the possible information here now. So all the details here we are able to write. I get my point or not? Includes other name, objective of the implementation, team information, modules details, project details, and so on. Understand my point clearly? All right, sir. To provide the above description, Java files, to provide the above description in Java files, we have to use what we have to use there? Comment section. Guys, understand this point clearly? We have to use what there? Comment section, where we have to use comments. There we have to use what there? Comments. Clear? Very clear cut information. Try to understand it now. This is a basic, this is a good programming practice. Whenever we are started with a project in our company, first time we are writing the code in a particular project, definitely our team lead will give some guidelines to you how to start our code. Where one of the guidelines is what there, before writing our code in a Java file, give some description about your implementation, what we are going to implement, what is your name, who are you, and where you to implement this code, what is your module actually, in which project we are working there, what is the client details if it is possible, if it is disclosed the information there we can write it. All the details here we are going to write now. There is a convention. Of course, without writing this information also, we can write Java program, we can compile and execute the program, that's okay. But it's a right practice to provide this type of details in our code. To provide this type of information, there we have to go for what there? Comment section. In comment section, we have to use what there? Comments. Now here I have a question. What is a comment? What is the meaning of comment? Observe carefully. Comment is an unexecutable part. Unexecutable part. I think it's non-executable part. No problem. Both are same. Non-executable part in a Java program. Java programming. Comment is what there? Non-executable part. Comment is a non-executable part in a Java program or Java programming. That's the basic awareness on what their comment. That's okay, fine. How many types of comments are available in Java? If you observe this, there are 3 types of comments in Java. There are 3 types of comments in Java. What are the 3 types of comments in Java? Now, first one is like what there? Single line comment. And the second one is like what there? Multi-line comment. And next one is what there? Documentation comment. Right, sir. Overall, 3 types of comments are exist in Java. What are the 3 types of comments here? First one is what there? Single line comment. And the second one is what there? Multi-line comment. Then what next one here? Documentation comments. Again and again I'm telling there, these comments are because of the developers only. Comments are for the sake of developers only. Comments are giving some details to the developers. For example, I prepared my implementation. I submitted my code to my superior. My superior wants to see what I have implemented there. He wants to get some primary information by seeing your Java file. That primary information is able to get by seeing that what there? Comment section only. That primary information is able to get by seeing what there? Comment section only. Observe carefully. So because of that reason here, comments are important. Comments are giving some description to us about our coding part here. Now let's move on to the point here. How many types of comments are available here? 3 types of comments are existed. What are the 3 types of comments now? Single line comment. Second one is what there? Multi-line comment. Next one is what there? Documentation comment. These are the 3 types of comments here we are having. Now let's see one by one here clearly. Only one time only we are going to understand this type of points now, not every time. Why? Because that time only we have to understand clearly, we are going to use as per the requirement there. Then what is this single line comment actually? Observe carefully. It is able to provide the complete description in a single line. It is able to provide the complete description in what there? In a single line. If you want to provide description, we can provide, but that entire thing should be in what there? One line. Right. So then what is the syntax of this single line comment here? To forward slashes, this is a symbol. Here we can write some description. Whatever the description here we want to write there, we can write. But 2 forward slashes here we have to provide. Let's see this point here. All of you understand this clearly. Example, I'm telling to you, all of you guys. Class, for example, class. Math I have taken for example. Simple class. Whatever it may be, some information here now. I want to give some information about this math class in a single line. So forward slashes we can use there. This class is able to represent all mathematical operations. Some information in a single line only I given that. Then inside this I want to take like what there? Void add into I comma into j. I want to write this method here. Of course, some coding part also here we provided. That's okay, fine. But I want to give some comment about this particular method. What's the method here? It is able to perform arithmetic addition. It is able to perform what there? Arithmetic addition. Similarly, I want to take like what there, observe carefully, void subtraction here I want to take. Now observe carefully here. Now inside this here we are able to have some information there. Then what we are able to provide there, it is able to perform arithmetic subtraction, something else here, subtraction here we want to perform then, or subtraction, that's okay, fine. Like this, if we want to provide our description within a single line, there we have to use what there, single line comment. There's a purpose here we have to understand clearly. Next one guys, after completion of this, let's move on to the second one here. What is the second one here? Multi-line comment. Multi-line comment. Name itself is giving clarity for us. What is this multi-line comment here? No, it is able to provide the complete description in more than one line. It is able to provide the complete description in what there? More than one line. In more than one line here, we are able to provide the complete description. That's okay, fine. But what is the syntax of this multi-line comment here? All of you observe carefully. The syntax of this multi-line comment here we are providing. Understand this, no? Slash star. There we can write any lines of description here. Description, we can write the description here any number of lines. More than one line, we can provide this. Then after that, star slash. All of you are getting clarity, no? Then syntax of this multi-line comment is like what there? Slash star, some description here we are able to provide description, then a star slash. That's it. Next one is after that. This is like what there? Multi-line comment. Example here I'm telling to you now, try to understand this. Where this example here we are able to provide there. Say for example, same, observe carefully. I want to take something else like what there? Class calculator. Same, almost all math class one I'm repeating, no, but with a different name. This is like what there? Calculator. Inside this calculator, I want to write public, listen carefully, public int add of int I comma int j. Now here I'll provide some content here. Now inside this here we are able to have some logic. Then after that here I'm going to have like what there, written 10 or maybe written I plus j, something else here we are going to write. Now my information, my requirement is what there. About this method I want to provide some description. I want to give some description about this particular method. What description here I want to provide there, observe carefully here. Now the description is going to be included like this. Now inside this I need to provide, right, name of the method. What is the name of the method here? No, add. All right, so next one is like what there, objective. I want to get some objective of this method here to perform arithmetic addition again here. Arithmetic addition. Example I'm telling there. Understand my point here. After completion of this, parameters. What are the parameters here? No, int comma int. Understand my point here. Parameter types. For example, I'm taking there parameter types. Next one is what there. Then after that, right, so return type. Return type. I want to get there. What is the return type here? No, int. Like this, we can provide some details. Now tell me, my description is available in more than one line or not? Whenever we want to provide some description more than one line, there we can take what there, this particular comment. What is that comment? You know, multi-line comment. See, I given this data in a particular format. Even that format is also not required. Roughly, we can write the data in more than one line. Paragraph of data. In paragraph, multiple lines are available or not? That we can provide in the form of this single, in the form of this particular comment. That's why we have to go for what there, multi-line comment. This is somewhat information here we can understand clearly now. Guys, all of you are following or not? All of you are able to see, all these are not that difficult, right? Simple points only, fundamentals, very fundamentals. Okay, but if you are clear about these fundamentals, no, next upcoming concepts are going to be very simple for us. Okay, fine. Next one, guys, after that, after understanding this particular one here, next another thing is like what there. This is somewhat important, somewhat content here I'm going to discuss with you. Try to understand this. No, the next one is like what there, documentation comments. Maybe in some other programming languages it is not available, but in Java this is existed here. So we have to understand clearly. Documentation comments. Guys, all of you reply for me. Single line comment is able to allow the description in how many lines? No, only one line. In multi-line comments, the description will be provided in how many lines? No, multiple lines, more than one line. Similarly, documentation comment is able to allow the description. It is able to allow. It is able to allow the description in more than one page. Guys, all of you observe carefully. It is able to allow the description in what there? More than one page. Right. Next one. What is the syntax of this documentation comment here? It's somewhat similar to the multi-line comment, but variation is available. Understand it now. /2 double star. And every line should be started with what there? Star. Every line should be started with what there? Star. We can write like this, any number of intersections can. Then after that, star slash. That's it. Ending point of view, single star. Starting point of view, 2 stars. Guys, observe carefully. Slash double star and some description. We can write pages and pages of description. Then star slash. That's clear to all of you. All of you are getting clarity on these points now. Right. But I need to give some more information about this. Now try to understand it carefully. In general, where this documentation comments are going to be utilized, where we are able to utilize in general this documentation comments. In general, we will use documentation comments. In general, we will use documentation comments to prepare API documentation for our applications. I have used one new terminology. In general, we will use documentation comments to prepare what? API documentation for our applications. Sir, I have a question. What is this API documentation? I want to know that. Application programming interface. Application programming interface. That's the meaning of API documentation for our applications. Answer my point here. Now, first of all, let me give definition for what there API documentation. Let me give some definition here. API document or API documentation. Understand it clearly. What is this API documentation? API documentation. Everybody understand this clearly. It is a document. It's a document in the form of it is a document in the form of, guys, observe carefully, in the form of a .txt file, maybe a .txt file or a doc file, normal .doc file, or a .pdf file, or a .html file, and so on and so on. It may be anything. The documentation may be a doc file or txt file or a pdf file or an html file. It may be anything, but it will provide the complete declarative, complete description about the programming elements, which we have used in our Java application. In general, in our programs, what we are able to write, maybe we are able to write some variables, maybe we are able to write some methods, maybe we are able to write what there, some classes. About these programming elements, I want to give some description in the form of a document. To prepare such type of documentation, we are going to use one document. The document is called as what there? API document. To prepare this API documentations only, we are going to use documentation comments. Understand, guys, what I'm telling you now? Right, sir. All of you observe carefully. What's the meaning of this API documentation here? I'm telling there. It's a document in the form of a text file, or in the form of a doc file, or in the form of a PDF file, or in the form of an HTML file. It will provide the complete description about the programming elements which we have used in our Java applications. In my Java file, I may use number of variables, number of methods, number of classes. About each and every element, I want to provide some description. That's why we have to go for what there? Java documentation. Right, listen carefully. One note I'm telling there. Java has provided a standard documentation to provide description about the Java predefined library. Predefined library. Java has provided standard documentation to provide description about the Java predefined library. Got it or not? It has provided there. That we are going to open, that we are going to see. That's available in the internet. That's available in the internet. Just we can open it and we are able to get required information about the Java predefined classes and interfaces. I'll show this one. So go for it. Google it. Now again, what I'm going to provide there. Just I want to open Java 8 API documentation. That's it. All of you observe carefully. Java API documentation. This is available in the form of HTML file. This is an HTML file. This is the frames, HTML frames actually. See, this part is a package section. What are the various packages are available in Java? All the packages are listed here. Package is nothing but collection of classes and interfaces. Right, sir. If I select one package, no, the selected package classes and interface are available here in this location. If I select any one class here, automatically that class description will be provided in this area. Get my point or not? Now, for example, I want to select our well-known package, java.lang package. In java.lang package, so many class and interface are available here. I want to get like what there, well-known class. What is that well-known class here? String class. You might be aware about the string class. If we select it, there we are able to get some description about my string class. What description here we are getting there about our string class? No, observe carefully the description here. First one is like what there. String class represents character strings. All string literals in Java programs such as double quotation ABC are implemented as instances of this class. Something else, some information. Alright, sir. Inside the string class, what exactly the variables are available here? Fields. Fields in the sense variables only. Only one variable is available. That is what their case insensitive order. Constructors. For every class, some set of constructors are available. List of the constructors are available and their details are also be existed here now. Apart from this, methods. Inside the string class, so many methods are available. Caret, code point at, code point before, code point count, compare to, ignore case, concat method. Append operation is going to be performed with the concat method. All their details are available. Just this is only primary data. But whenever these methods information is completed, when these methods are completed there overall, again, in detailed information here we are able to get about the variable, again, in detailed information. There previously rough data. Now it is what there in detailed information. Right. Public static final comparator case insensitive order that we are getting there clearly. It is provided in which version of the Java? 1.2 version of the Java. Something else no. String class constructors data. In detailed information there. Next one is what there. Then after completion of this methods information here we are able to get. Methods, method details, length method returns the length of the string. The length is equal to the number of Unicode code units in the string. Understand my point here? No, something else no, right? Some description is empty. It is going to check whether that string is empty string or not. If it is empty string, it will return what there some value here no. Public boolean actually true value. If it is true, if it is empty. Otherwise, it will be like what there something else. Char at a particular index. What exactly the character? So this is about string class. Similarly, for example here, if you want to go for like what there, something else no, java.lang package or maybe java.io package. If you have the java.io package, number of class and interface are available. Buffer reader is available. If we click on it, that buffer data information here we are getting there. So all of you get my point or not? So this is clearly the Java API documentation. For example, whenever we are preparing a project now, if I want to perform some operation there, but I know the functionality of that operation, but I don't know what classes I'm going to use, then immediately I will refer this word there, API documentation. I'll open it, there I will check which classes are suitable for my requirement, then how to use the classes, I can get clarity, then I'm able to use the classes in our application. So Java API documentation, every developer can visit this API documentation frequently. Required. This is the Bible of the Java programming language. Here only we have to get that all the content here. Whatever the data we want to get about this Java, about the predefined class and interfaces there, here only we have to get all the details now. Got it or not? This is about our content here. That's okay, fine. Leave it. It's okay, fine. Now leave this one. But I have one more question there. So this is API documentation for what there? For predefined library. For predefined class and interfaces, this is API documentation. Am I right or not? But I have a question. My question is what there? I have a program, I have an application, Java application. For this, I want to prepare my API documentation. For this application, I want to prepare what there? API documentation. I get my point or not? So, understand my point here. To prepare API documentation for our applications, if we use, all of you guys understand my point here. To prepare API documentation for our applications, if we use documentation comments, then it may take a lot of time. So it is not suggestible. It is not suggestible to use documentation comments to prepare API documentation. Observe carefully. All right, sir. Now to prepare API documentation for our applications, if we use documentation comments, then it may take a lot of time. So it is not suggestible to use documentation comments to prepare what their API documentation. All right, sir. Understand clearly. Next point I'm telling to you, to simplify API documentation creation. To simplify the API documentation creation. Listen carefully. Java has provided an internal tool. Java has given an implicit tool, an internal tool. That internal tool is Java doc. In the form of command, we are getting that internal tool. What is that internal tool there? Java command, Java doc. Observe carefully. All right, sir. Right, sir. Observe carefully. To simplify the API documentation creation, Java has provided an internal tool. That is what there? Java doc. But how to use the Java doc now? What the Java doc is able to provide there? Observe carefully. Java doc tool. J should be small. It's a predefined tool. Java doc tool is able to prepare API documentation. Java doc tool is able to prepare API documentation in the form of HTML files. In the form of what there? HTML files. Sir, all of you get my point or not? Java doc tool is able to prepare API documentation in the form of like what there? API, that means in the form of HTML files. But how to use this? How to use the Java doc tool? What is the syntax to use the Java doc tool? Very simple. Java doc. Next one is what there? File name dot Java. That's finished. Automatically, API documentation will be created about our application. Automatically, API documentation will be created for our application. Is that all of you are getting it or not? Right. Just 10 to 15 minutes of time. I want to show one program there. I want to show how to prepare API documentation for our content. All of you ready for it now? Can I prepare our own API documentation for my own program? Right. Now observe carefully. If I want to prepare API documentation for my application, where I need to create my own program or not? I need to have my own program or not? But don't think about it how I'm writing this program. That is not your context now. Just we have to think to prepare API documentation, we need a program. That's why I'm writing a program. But don't think much internal about how to write this variable and how to write this method. No, don't have these questions here. Only the point is one program is required to prepare API documentation. That's why I'm writing this program. Right, all of you observe carefully. First of all, let me set right the location here. That means where we want to create that API documentation, D drive, inside the Java 730, there I want to prepare a folder. Name of the folder is like what there, docs folder I'm creating, no? Inside this docs folder, I want to create my Java file. Okay, now let me take this, edit plus. Don't think about it, how to create this edit plus and all. I will teach to you clearly how to get this all the content here. Now let's see this one. First of all, I have to go for like what their public class employee. Or the class I have taken, sir, employee class. All of you observe carefully. Class employee. Okay, fine. Inside this class, public int envo variable I have taken. Public string ename. Public float ecell. Public string eaddr. All these are variables or not? Of course, data is not required. Data is not going to be represented in API documentation. Data is not required. Just 4 variables I declared. Answer my point. Then after that, I want to do some constructors here. Public employee int envo, open and closed. Public employee, right? So now int envo comma string ename. These are called as constructors. Constructor name, class name must be same. Same thing. Class name is what their employee. Constructor name is also be employee. That's why I've taken there. Public employee now here int envo comma string ename comma float ecell. Float ecell. Next one is after that. Public employee. Next one is int public employee int envo comma string ename comma float ecell comma string eaddr. I prepared this. All these are what are their constructors. For creating objects, we are going to use these constructors actually. All these are what are constructors, for example. Next one, after that, I want to prepare methods also now. Public void add of int envo comma string ename comma float ecell comma string eaddr. Even I'm not providing any implementation internally, just method declarations I'm providing there, empty implementations I'm providing. My requirement is what there, API documentation, where internal implementation is not going to be included. Values of the variables are not going to be provided there. Right, so next one is what there. Now public void search, public void search into envo, open and closed. Public void update, now get int envo comma. Next one is a string ename comma float ecell comma and string eaddr. This data here we are able to get. Now get just it is like what there. 1 minute, sir. Open and close. Then one more method, last method, public void delete of int envo. Right, guys. Now all of you observe carefully. In my class employee, how many variables have taken? 4 variables have taken. How many constructors have taken? 4 constructors have taken. How many methods have taken? Now tell me. Overall, 4 methods have taken. Am I right or not? Each one 4, 4, 4. Here we have taken. Now let me save this here. Where we want to save this? Java 730, somewhere else. Java 730. Inside this docs folder I have taken, there I want to save with employee.java. My Java file is ready or not? Now let me open my command prompt here. fresh command prompt here. I want to open there. Inside this command prompt, first go to the location where you have saved Java file. At which location I have saved my Java file? Then now tell me d colon. Sorry, d colon. Inside this cd space Java 730 cd space docs. We are getting it. Right, sir. Now dir. If I check this, my employee.java is available or not? Yeah, no need to compile it, no need to execute anything. Just use Java doc. What we have to use there? Java doc space. What is my Java file? No, employee.java. Java doc employee.java. That's enough. Automatically Java doc tool will activate Java documentator internally. What is that one? Java documentator. It will take employee.java file. It will read variables, methods, and what next one can after that? Classes, every details about our Java file. Then it able to prepare API documentation for our context. Now let me click on enter button here. Here we are able to get some data. Now see this guys. What we are getting there? Generating HTML files. Generating HTML files. See, in my Java file, too many classes are not available. Too many packages are not available. Only one simple class where variables and methods and constructors are available. For that, I'm able to get like what there? Some API documentation. Now, let me open it. I'll go for this in the same location docs where employee.html file here I want to open. What file here I want to open there? Employee.html. Now tell me here what we are getting there clearly. But exactly the content here we are getting there. Observe carefully. Class employee. Right, sir. Variables. What variables are available here? ENO, ename, ESAL, EAD. Order may be anything, whatever it may be. Next one here. Constructors details are available or not? 4 constructors are existed here. Next one is what there after this no methods are available or not? All method details here we are getting or not? We can see this one. Methods here we are getting there. All methods are available. Now variables in detailed information. What we are getting there? Variables in detailed information. ENO. Right, sir. Next one is ESAL, ename, ESAL, EADR. Constructors in detailed information. Then after that, employees. Employee that means constructor. No. Methods in detailed information. The total declaration clearly. Like this here, we are able to provide like what there, all the details here. Got my point or not? Okay, now this is a way to prepare what there API documentation. But one more point here, I want to be specified to you. All of you observe carefully. Anyway, then for the sake of our practice, I'm telling to you, observe carefully. Example, employee.java. I'm giving this total program in the document just for the sake of a reference, not required to practice immediately, but try to understand the concept here, what I'm telling to you. Next, after that, on a command prompt, what I have done on total content here, I want to check. I want to provide in our document. Right, sir. What I have done there on command prompt that I given there clearly, right? That's okay, fine. This is completed, but one more point, small point, observe this clearly, all of you know. Tell me guys, all of you know, tell me one point here I'm telling to you. Listen carefully. Out of all the comments, how many types of comments are available in Java? 3 types of comments. Out of all 3 types of comments, only documentation comments of provided data will be listed in the generated API documentation which we created by using Java doc command. Understand what I'm telling to you? If I provide data with a single line comment, multi-line comment, and documentation comment, only documentation comment provided data will be available in the generated API documentation. Single line comment data, multi-line comment data will not be included in the documentation. That is the main intention of documentation comments. If you prepare any API documentation by using, Java doc tool, if you want to keep some data about a variable, some description about the content in the API documentation, there we have to use what there documentation comments. Just let us see some test case now. Guys, all of you observe carefully. It represents employee number. For what I've given this one there, ENO. Right, sir. Now here I'm telling there, it's single line comment, it represents employee number. Now I'm telling there, it is multi-line comment, it represents employee name. Complete or not? Now observe carefully. It represents, now this I want to say, documentation comment. It represents employee salary. Right, sir. Now for ENO, what I specified? Single line comment. For ENO, what I specified? Multi-line comment. For eSal, what I specified? Documentation comment. Nice. Right, sir. Similarly, after that. All right, so now here I'm telling there, single line comment, it is one param constructor. Now this is like what there, multi-line comment here I want to write now. Multi-line comment, just I want to write what there, it is two param constructor. Just simple sample data. I'm not having any intention to provide all this data. Then what next one here? No, here we can provide like what there, documentation comment star. Now this is like what there, documentation comment. It is 3 parameter constructor. Right, sir. Complete or not? So documentation comment I provided for what there, one constructor now. Observe carefully. Now here, now the turn is coming for what there, methods. Single line comment for what there. Comment is what there. It is able to add employee. It's able to add what there, employee. Right, sir. Multi-line comment is able to search employee. All right, sir. Next one is documentation comment. Right, sir. Documentation comment. It is able to update employee. Right, sir. Just save these points. Now observe carefully. For variables, for constructors, for methods, all three types of comments are used. Out of all three types of comments, no, which commented data will be available in the API documentation? I want to get it. All right, so now let me go for it. Except employee.java. Where is this Java file here? Except this. I want to delete everything here. Java file is existed. Am I right? Save this. Now again, java.com. Employee.java. Again, I'm going to prepare API documentation. Now this time what I provided there, observe carefully. What I provided here, no, all the document, all the comments I provided. But out of three types of commented data, which comments provided data is going to be available in the API documentation that we want to know. Now say this clearly. Click on enter button here. Of course, some warning messages are available. No need to think much about these warning messages here. No. Warning messages not giving any impact over actual requirement. Leave this one, no problem here. All right. Now let's go for this. Yeah, now I want to open like what there, employee.html file. Now here we are getting it. Now guys, observe carefully. What data is available here? Documented comment data is available. For ENO, what I provided there, single line comment, but not available. For ename, what I provided there, multi-line comment, but not available. For constructor, for one param constructor, what I provided, single line comment, not available. For two param constructor, what I provided there, multi-line comment, not available. For three param constructor, what I provided here, no. All right, sir. Automatically, we are getting the documentation comment or not? Leave this one. Methods information. For add method, single line comment not existed. For search, multi-line comment not available. For update, documentation comment I provided is able to update employee. The details we are getting or not. So finally here, what is the point I'm telling there? I will remember this. All right, sir. What is the point here I'm telling there? Note. What is the point I'm telling there? Out of all the comments, only out of all the comments, only documentation comments provided data will be listed in the generated API documentation which we created by using Java docker command. All of you are getting clarity or not? That practical proof also be I shown that or not? Try to understand this here. Now again here, for the sake of your example, I'm telling to you this entire program here I prepared here. Then this is again here employee.java. Previously that is what there without comments I've given. With respect to this point here I'm giving there. Now here what I have to do there. Now inside this what exactly the work we have done there on command prompt, the total content here I'm giving there. Command prompt. You can understand this clearly. That's it guys. Now this is about like what are their comments. Comments which are available in what their Java programming. Get clear? Clear to all of you know? Right, son. That's all guys. The next content time may not be sufficient. I'll discuss in the next class. Right, sir. And then I forgot to give that information. I think so. I think I given already information about like Pongal vacation, right? Right. From which point onwards that vacation is going to be started there? 12th, day after tomorrow. Then tomorrow we have session, but 99.99% I will take the class on tomorrow. Maybe 0.001% is not in my hand. That depends on my home minister, right? Understand it now? If they had separate plans now what we are able to do there. So our lives are not in our hand actually after getting married. Am I right or not? I think you will understand it in the future, right? Wait and see. So max possibilities I will take the sessions there. In the worst case, the 0.001%, if it is not the case, I'll give intimation to you by today evening or maybe by tomorrow morning. I'll get that intimation there. But before come for the session, get confirmation. The numbers are already given there. Right, this is the number here we have to take. Then get confirmation whether the class is going to be available or not. Max cases I'll send the message here. In the case if I'm not taking the class now, if you're not getting any intimation, get confirmation, then come to the class now. Okay, unnecessarily don't come for the class here if I'm not going to take the session. But I'll give intimation to you. If class is not going to be available, I'll send a message to everybody. In the case if class is available, you will not get any intimation, directly come to the class. But anyway, before come for the class, get a confirmation and come to the class. Right? That's all guys. That's all for today. In the case if I'm not taking class on tomorrow, next class will be on 19th. Next class will be on what there? 19th. Thank you guys. Thanks a lot. Probably we'll meet on tomorrow. What's that? What's it look? For look.
Like questions to solve, like programming questions, try to program for print a pyramid or something like that.
No, we'll get it. Yeah, that's still not yet completed. The basic syntax I'm discussing. One time if we complete the syntax, we'll get number of questions. Thank you. Yeah, Tejashwani, other faculties recording sessions are also we are able to get. Yeah, don't worry. Yeah, those who are attending in complete online there, every course recordings you are able to get. Don't worry. Yeah, sure. Okay. What's it? Yeah, don't worry. Then you'll get videos. No? Fine. Come on. ఒకసారి సార్తోనే మాట్లాడండి నా దగ్గర ఏముండదు దాని గురించి ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ అర్థమైంది కదా. నాది అంటే ఇవన్నీ కూడా వాళ్ళే చూసుకుంటారు, అడ్మిన్లో వాళ్ళే. వాళ్ళు నా దగ్గర కనీసం ఆ నంబర్స్ కూడా, ఐడి నంబర్స్ కూడా. ఒకసారి ఆయన ఓబీ సార్తో మాట్లాడండి, ఓకేనా. ఇక నా దగ్గర ఏముండదు దాని గురించి, ఆయనతోనే ఫాలో అప్ చేసుకోండి మ్యాక్సిమం. ఓకేనా, రైట్. టైం వేస్ట్ అండి, అంత టైం ఎందుకు. ప్యారలల్ టు కోర్ జావా తీసుకోవాలి మీకు. ఏంటిది? ఓకే, అవునవునవును. సరిపోదు. మీరు మీరు ఇప్పుడు కోర్ జావా కంప్లీట్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత అడ్వాన్స్ జావా తీసుకుందామనే. కంప్లీట్ కోర్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత అడ్వాన్స్ జావా తీసుకుందామనే. కంప్లీట్ కోర్ అంటే మీకు ఎట్లయితే 3 to 4 months పట్టుద్ది. కంప్లీట్ కోర్ అయ్యేదానికి అంత టైం వేస్ట్ కదా. ఎగ్జాక్ట్గా 45 days అయిపోయిన తర్వాత అడ్వాన్స్ జావా తీసేసుకోవచ్చు. ప్యారలల్కి వెళ్తే మీకు టైం సేవ్ అవుతుంది. లేదు, ఈజీగా అర్థమైపోతుంది. అడ్వాన్స్ జావా కంప్లీట్ కోర్ ఏం అవసరం లేదు. బేసిక్స్ ఆఫ్ కోర్ జావా ఉంటే ఆటోమేటిక్గా అడ్వాన్స్ జావా స్టార్ట్ తీసుకోవచ్చు. ఓకే ఓకే ఓకే, పర్లేదండి. కానీ కానీ కోర్ జావా కంప్లీట్ అయిన తర్వాత అడ్వాన్స్ జావా అంటే టైం ఎక్కువ తీసుకుంటుంది, అన్నెసరీ నా ఉద్దేశం అయితే. ఎందుకంటే జావా అనేది వ్యాస్ట్ ఉంటుంది. యాజ్ మచ్ యాజ్ పాసిబుల్ మీరు టైం రెడ్యూస్ చేసుకుంటూ ఉండాలి. దాని ప్యారలల్ కోర్సెస్ చేస్తేనే టైం తక్కువది, లేదంటే ఇయర్స్ పడుతుంది టైం. అది ప్లాన్ చేసుకున్నది. రైట్ గైస్, అండ్ హౌ కెన్ గెట్ లైవ్ సెషన్ వీడియోస్ guys, and send a request mail to this one, or else we can call to this number. Already we have a number, right? There is this number. Just now I given that number, guys. Where is it? 73860 95600. Guys, now either we can call to this number or we can send request mail to this, then we are able to get it. Live class videos we are able to get. Yeah, Satya Sai Kiran, just we can type your doubts there, then continuously I'm watching your questions, then I can get it. I can explain that immediately. Immediately I'll respond for it. Yeah, Satya Sai, then if you have any doubt there, then we can type your doubt there, then I can clarify immediately. Yeah. Saurabh, then just call to these two numbers there, then number and as well as like what there, that mail to this, then you are able to get clarity on it. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Anything else, guys? And shall we meet on tomorrow? Probably. Then tomorrow I want to go for a class. In the worst case, if I'm not taking the class there, then Pongal occasion will start automatically. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thanks a lot. I'll see the remaining content on tomorrow, probably. Thank you. No WhatsApp group, sure up. Yeah, coding I will discuss with you, Mahesh. Then still that coding part is not yet sorted there. To get all updates, no, then I'll plan for one channel there. Don't worry. Then very soon I'll give the channel details to you. After the Pongal, I will create it. I'll give to you. But meanwhile, then we don't want to encourage anything about like what there WhatsApp groups. Don't worry. Then after the Pongal occasion, then I will go for it. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Pongal vacation is from day after tomorrow to 19th Jan, no? Exactly 18th, up to 18th, Saurabh. Up to 18th. 19th classes will be there. Classes will resume on 19th. Up to 18th Pongal vacation. Okay. Right. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Anything else, guys? And shall we meet on tomorrow? Thank you. Thanks a lot.